So total insanity just continues in Canada. You thought they would stop after COVID, but it seems like there is no end to this insanity. Soon Canada will become a third world hotel where they bring basically people to work. It's becoming a three-star hotel. In the news now that Canada's immigration minister says there is not a hard cap on temporary visa program for Palestinians, which on one side you could say it's good, we're helping people. They're in a really bad situation with the war zone in Israel-Gaza conflict, but these people are being brought to Canada when Canada is not in the best place itself, because where are these people going to live? What are they going to do for work? A lot of these people have relatives. That's how they're coming to Canada. So imagine you have 40,000 Palestinian immigrants that live in Canada that have relatives in Palestine that could potentially bring tens of thousands of Palestinians that have no English speaking skills, most of them. They don't know the skills that are required to work in Canada in any area pretty much, unless there's some doctors or IT. Even then it takes time to get used to the labor market. So basically you're bringing people who are going to rely on the local population and the system when Canada has a crisis, because there's already homelessness, there's already opioid crisis going, there's already not enough space in Canada for people themselves to find apartment rentals. So first they came up and said there will be 1,000-person limit on temporary resident visas for Palestinians looking to flee Gaza, but now they're saying it's not a hard cap. So obviously that was just a stunt, and then we'll switch to look at vacancy rates in Canada. In most of Canada, total vacancy rates are at historical low, and they went from they're around 1.6 now, 1.6% vacancy rate, which is very low rates, meaning there's not enough rental units for the demand, and whatever comes up, whatever rental units are being built, they're being filled right away. And we go to a snapshot. So you're bringing these immigrants with no skills basically to basically a country where you need to work to pay rent, because they're not going to own a house when they first come to Canada, so they have to work to pay rent. We give an example in Ontario. uh, the screen just went out, but the point is, oh, here we go. Number of renter households in Ontario, 600. Oh no, this is British Columbia. So we'll switch to Ontario, or we could even do British Columbia. But let's go British Columbia. So you need medium income in British Columbia is 63,000, and they spend 38% in British Columbia on rent. So almost 40% of income is spent on rent in British Columbia, which is higher than most of Canada. And the average is $1,492. So an immigrant family will have to come up at least with this amount, at least, to not be homeless. Basically, they're going to stay with their relatives in overcrowded apartments. This is being done when Canada only adds 100 jobs in December. Imagine 100 jobs, meaning if you're bringing millions and millions of immigrants and temporary resident workers every year, if you're only adding 100 jobs, where are these people going to work? Obviously, you're not adding more work for them. So this is a joke. What's happening now? This is a big joke. And it needs to be looked at. Rental supply increases, but demand surges. So here's another article that it's from cmhc.gc. Glance at, trends from the 2022 report. So basically, what it's saying is vacancy rates in 2022 were are 1.9% down from 3.1% in 2021. Basically, vacancy rates have gone down to 1.9, and it is going to go down to 1.6 in 2023 now. So obviously, rentals are filling up. There's not enough rentals, although there's a surge in building, but they still can't keep up. They still can't keep up with the demand. So you're bringing more people, specifically refugees that have no skills, to a country where there is no jobs and no place to live. And temporary resident permits in Canada, looking at the numbers now, this is the one that's just crazy. This is just crazy what's happening, how many people are coming to this country. There's 1 million study permits that were issued in 2023, and half of them were just renewals, meaning around 5 to 600,000 new students came to this country. Where are these students going to stay again? The students that come to Canada, they're adding to the demand in the rental units, and obviously that's going to take the rental units away from the local population, because the students will possibly have more income from their parents. In any case, it's going to create competition between the local population, drive down the rental unit availability, and increase the price in the rental units. So the immigrants, specifically the refugees from Ukraine, Palestine, that are being brought to this country, are going to be competing with these study permit holders and the local population that already has jobs, and it puts them in great disadvantage. So you will end up having with a lot of poorer population, with refugees that don't have the skills. And this is again another proof how many people have come to Canada in 2022. 437,539 permanent residents. Temporary immigration, a total of 4.7 million travel documents were issued. Out of those, 550,000 were for students. This is insanity. And there was also 604,000 work permit holders that were under temporary foreign workers program. It's not like local Canadians have enough work, so you have to increase the number of not only the students and the refugees that coming to this country, but also temporary foreign workers are adding onto this number. This is pure insanity what's happening in Canada when there is already a local crisis in jobs, rental units, availabilities for the local population. And this is all being done at this point. Now, just to sum up, the workforce in Canada in 2022 was around 16 million. Out of that 16 million, current uh, skilled temporary foreign workers are 1.6 million in total, meaning the workforce of Canada is around 10% is temporary foreign workers. If that number wasn't that high, local population would have more options for work, meaning there would be more jobs for the local population. So that's that. See you next time.